Call Bylaw on me because I'm too sick to mow my grass. Enjoy your view of my 8-foot fence. 2 years ago, my grandfather passed away, and I moved into the house he left behind. It wasn't in bad shape, but he'd let the yard go a little in his later years. The grass was usually trimmed, but the trees were overgrown, the pond was murky, and the patio hadn't seen a broom in ages. I wasn't just inheriting a house, I was inheriting years of deferred outdoor maintenance, all while juggling work and grieving someone I loved. Next door lived a woman who had once sold off a chunk of her backyard to a property developer. The way our lots were shaped, her house now bordered the stretch of land that had always been my grandpa's backyard. With her yard smaller than before, she had unofficially adopted our yard as her view, treating it as a kind of virtual extension of her own space. At first I didn't mind. I was busy sorting through my grandpa's things and adjusting to this new phase of life. Over the past 2 years, I'd put in real effort, trimming trees, clearing brush, and trying to slowly bring the yard back to life. It wasn't perfect, but it was improving. Still, the neighbor always had something to say. A few passive-aggressive comments here, a snide remark there, always about the yard. I tried to brush it off. Then this spring hit me like a brick. Work stress ramped up and I got sick, really sick, for a couple of weeks. Everything went on pause, including the lawn. That was the opening my neighbor had apparently been waiting for. One afternoon, she knocked on my door and launched into a tirade about the mess in the backyard. I was exhausted, physically and mentally, and I wasn't in the mood for it. I told her flat out that I had a life outside of this house, and if it bothered her that much, she was welcome to maintain it herself. She didn't like that answer. A few days later, a bylaw officer showed up. Turns out she'd reported me for the grass being too long. The officer was surprisingly understanding once I explained the situation. Being sick, the house's history, the ongoing work. He gave me plenty of time to get back on my feet and fix things. But the whole thing lit a fire under me. This woman had enjoyed a clear, uninterrupted view of my yard for years. She treated it like her own, and the one time I let things slide, she went straight to the city. That's when I decided it was time to give her exactly what she wanted, a clear boundary. Originally, I had planned to put up a small white picket fence, something classic and clean, partly because we were casually looking to adopt a dog. But now I had a different vision. I did the research and found out the tallest fence I could legally build on that side of the property. 8 feet, that was the limit, so I built it. A big, beautiful, solid 8-foot privacy fence. Every board went up with care, and every nail felt like sweet, petty justice. It wasn't fast or cheap, but it was deeply satisfying. Her house sits right on the property line, and one of her windows used to have a full view of my yard. Trees, pond, garden, all of it. Not anymore. Now, all she sees is wood. No more admiring her view. No more unsolicited critiques. No more treating my backyard like it was hers. I went from being the neighbor who tolerated her comments to the one who reminded her what private property actually means. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just built. Now, as I sit out back with a cold drink, listening to my dog play in the newly fenced yard, I feel nothing but peace. And maybe just a little bit of smug satisfaction. She wanted the yard to look better. Now she doesn't have to look at it at all.